Oh, we're receiving data at Restream. Yes, we've got something coming through there. Let's check on Twitch. Fingers crossed. Twitch has got stuff.
There we go.
Check on Facebook.
Facebook?
Not Facebook.
So when did we stream to Facebook?
Yes! We've got stuff coming through to YouTube.
Straight away!
Yay!
Oh my God!
We're good. No more clicking a silly button.
No more being surprised by the button. It's only taken us how many years of pooing?
The only way to get around it was to not have rely on us to click it. So, good morning, TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz, yes.
Welcome to episode 118 of the Van Nerds podcast.
Oh,
Yeah,
blimey.
yeah. Can you believe 118? Do we say this every episode? We say, can you believe it made 117, 118, 119?
At 120, we need to get tables for like a foldable table so we can set it up in here for the round the table stuff.
Just
saying.
Should we do it 128 as it's more of a computery number?
Yeah, go for it.
128.
What are we gonna do for I was gonna say like
50?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
I thought we were going to Chernobyl.
Aren't we gonna be dead before then? We'll probably be dead after that.
Possibly. Who knows?
Maybe. Nah, it's safe.
So, yeah. Chernobyl's very safe. Safe in the UK at the moment. Bregs and all that sort of stuff going on.
Well, I've already warned you about this. We don't use buzzwords in my house.
What would you call it? The Great Stupidness.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The Great Stupidness ongoing at the moment.
The ridiculous levels of stupid from both sides, leaving and remaining.
Yes.
We just call it the referendum.
I call it the Great Fuck Up of 2018.
Yeah.
Right, so, anyway, welcome to the episode. Just us again this week.
Yep.
Yep, in a very dark... I need to say warehouse.
What about an upgrade, are we?
Very dark. We could pretend it's a warehouse. No one's going to know. Look at the image.
No, fair point.
We're an old arcade warehouse.
Yeah, we've actually had many a compliment on the background for the last few, because we've got the arcade machines. So what I need to do is get these two to power up, and then we can just have like a random game playing on both, and
That'd
just
be
have them
cool.
as a background.
That'd be very cool. And what we could do is every so often have a little flashy light go past like there's a forklift.
That just sounds like Shenmue, playing Shenmue with the forklifts at the end.
Mate, I play Shenmue every day when at work on that forklift. I was going today and use the forklift.
Do you do a forklift race at the start of every shift?
No.
Oh.
No, they look down on that sort of thing. And as the forklifts are quite dangerous to race because without anything on them, they're very prone to falling over.
Yeah, that's a risk you take. I mean, you've got to be known as the best forklift racer in home base.
Yeah, no.
Best forklift racer in
the company that I work for that we mustn't mention, otherwise I'll avoid some social media policy.
Whoops. Oh well.
We'll
Best
beat that
time.
out.
What's the other one? Gateway's not a thing, is it? Summerfield? No, Summerfield, I think?
I think they still exist. Well, they're Hot Fuzz, they must still exist.
I'm sure. I'm trying to think of like random companies now.
I've never raced a forklift.
Birdseye.
I do know our forklift can get to about 6 miles an hour.
We've raced forklifts in Birdseye.
Yeah, I have raced.
No, not forklifts. Sorry.
Pump trucks.
Yeah, the wee barrows.
Yeah, the ones that you pump up and down.
No, pumpy, like full on battery operated with a little
electric
platform
pump
on the back.
I know what you mean, like electric pump truck type things.
I guess so. Yeah, we just call them barrows.
Yeah. So, all right.
We loved racing those. They were great.
Oh, well, each through that.
You can drift those.
I bet you can. You can probably drift forklifts as well, but not our one because our one's got two. It's got two rear wheels, but they're actually in the centre.
Oh sure.
So our forklift can do a full.
So you tighten out to spin on the spot.
Yeah.
Those are rad.
Yeah. I've used a forklift that could pretty much do that, but had its wheels still on the outside.
All right.
But it had such a long turning articulation on. Their wheels could virtually go 90 degrees. Very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. Yeah. Yeah, it's great fun, our forklift. Yeah, very slow. That's about 6. I've got it set to the fastest speed. I've got speed settings on it. And fastest speed it gets up to about 6 miles an hour. And that's about it. I know because I've had my GPS app on the phone to see.
I can remember a chap I used to know, because I've worked in quite a few factories and that. You're on the night shift, and all of a sudden you see a bloke go down the high street on a forklift. She went to the local takeaway. Does anyone want anything? And they drive the forklift down the high street.
Why not? If it's well, ours could go on the high street. The only thing that prevents us is that we haven't got a number plate on it. So that's
sure.
that makes it not road legal. But it's got all the others. It's got all the indicators. Everything else is on it ready.
Mm-hmm.
Put a number plate on it and register it. We can do that on the road. Fine, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
My tour going through takeaways. We have. I remember I've gone through McDonald's before with a livestock trailer on the back for the stock. Was it? Yeah, we had cows on board. We just drove through McDonald's, and I just thought and also we actually pulled up. This trailer had just been sat there, and all the cows were just staring out the trailer at the person behind the window.
It's like, hi.
I was like, hi.
What do they want?
Yeah. Oh, milkshake, please.
Bless them.
Bless them. Yeah, we got some funny looks.
I'd imagine.
That was at the time that we made a family. I managed to make a family move in McDonald's, not deliberately. We went there after we'd been loading pigs up, and we said, "Do you want to fancy McDonald's?" Yeah, so we sat in McDonald's after we loading pigs up, so I was still covered in all my gear.
I was going to say that'd be a.
Sat down at the table next to them, and they just all moved.
Oh mate.
My friend with me said, "I've never been so bloody embarrassed in my life."
Yeah, just wait. There's always next week.
Yeah, you wait. This is evening, Annie. This is not embarrassing. You don't know what's happening. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, games we've been playing. Starting the podcast off properly. Skazz.
Right, I want to open up with a little, just a little bit of chat because I've been playing through several old games again. You know how? What was the last thing what was it I spoke about last week?
Castlevania, Mortal Kombat, and
Final Fantasy 7?
No, it was another fighting game. Samurai.
Oh, Samurai Showdown.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've been playing through a lot of the old kind of hero games. Hero games being like, in your case, Silent Hill. I played Castlevania before.
Sort of single protagonist games.
The games that we loved when we were younger.
Oh, I see what you mean. That's bad mistake.
Yeah, really bad. So it's been a bit hit and miss. Symphony of the Night. Samurai Showdown, the new one.
That's actually a new one, though. It's not.
It's a reboot. It's a reboot.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good, and those games do still hold up. Grandia. We started playing Grandia. Me and Chalky. Chalky came around for a bit, and cool. Honorary Rand Nerd came around. We played 7 hours of Grandia, and then I played it myself for a few days after that as well. That one held up. Voice acting is passable. Gameplay was still pretty solid. Graphics were pretty solid. It was, still a very nice game.
Fair, for a game that old, passable voice acting is a ringing endorsement.
Oh, God, yeah, for sure. I even tried...
Normally they get the intern to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's weird, actually, because we found some of the characters in that game, the cast had only actually done that game.
I've seen quite a lot that you play all games and you see the person's just done a voice act and they've just done that one game, or you see it often on TV, though, isn't it? You see the character and you're like, that's the only thing they ever did.
But it just seems really weird, though, because when you look at games now, it's like, oh, that person has been in like a million things. But
I honestly believe it's because now it's now actually a career you could do.
Yeah, for sure. Whereas back then not so
I
much.
honestly think half the time they just went to the local drama hall and just grabbed some people and took him in.
You sound reasonably okay.
Yeah,
slightly average.
Yeah, you've got a voice that we can record and edit well. Come do a voice acting for us. We'll pay you.
We'll pay you $1.50.
Yeah. Here's a £50 note or yen note or whatever his equivalent is, and like a Tamagotchi or something.
Here's $1 and some coffee.
Yeah, to be fair, I would do that for voice acting again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it'd have to be a Greg's breakfast roll and a coffee.
Jay Muse of Jay and Silent Bob fame. They did a cameo in they were just in the background of a shot apparently in like Scream 3, and they gave him $300 and a t-shirt, and he said, dude, why make films anymore? We should just cameo and all these other things. Like, we get $300 and a t-shirt. Like, that's it. I'm like, that's all we need. $300 a day and a t-shirt.
That's what we should do. We should just go around and just offer to cameo in films.
Just like stand in the background,
Yeah, we are
random person A.
We're famous character actors. The Rand Nerds. Favourites, and we can create some fake websites, some fake fan sites. We'll write our own IMDb page, our own Wikipedia page.
I'm surprised we haven't already got a Wikipedia page.
I doubt, but loads of references in it. Get a TV tropes page. We can, if we do this all, we can fake this all ourselves. We do this, and then we can pretend we're famous and say we'll cameo in, but we'll do it for a cut price for you for just £200 or something. In the background.
I'll take that.
Yeah, there we go. So
we're in the wrong business, mate.
Oh, yeah, we can fake enough. If we do it enough, we'll be all right.
But so I played through Grandia, and recently, so I'm sure I've mentioned on the podcast recently we were going to play Final Fantasy 7 again. So I had been playing it. I played it on the Xbox for a bit.
Yes, you did. Yeah, because we were discussing it. Because we were discussing where we got to various parts of the game, and we were discussing the remake as well.
So I jumped back in from scratch again very recently. So I was playing it through on the Xbox version. And so just random things happened. Me and Inky were playing Destiny a lot more. And Inky ran out of... The batteries on her control pad ran out as she was in a Crucible queue, which is PvP. So I run upstairs and grab the batteries from my controller, put them in her controller, because, I mean, literally, if she doesn't have batteries in her controller when that match starts, she might as well just give up.
Yeah.
Right? So she's got my batteries. Later on in the day, I go to live stream. I'm going to play Final Fantasy 7 again, so I aimed to finish it. I didn't have batteries. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try the Switch version, because I have Final Fantasy 7 on like nearly everything. It was one of my favourite games. I've got it on every platform pretty much under the sun.
It's the Skyrim of Square Enix.
Yeah, pretty much. It's everywhere. I mean, Square has actually recently gone on record as saying they're going to put all of their classic games on every platform. They aim to put every Final Fantasy game on current platforms. So I launched it up on the Switch again, and I've started to do this thing that I never thought I'd do with classic games. So when Zabermore was down for the 24 hours, we were talking about how modern gamers need... It's instant gratification every single step of the way. They need a reward every single step of the way.
Clawforms just said, I'm so high.
Good.
Good
for
for
you,
man.
man.
For Clawforms, that normally knocks you out.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you're still typing is fucking surprising.
But enjoy it.
Yep, good job.
To be fair, being high is the best way to enjoy the Randos podcast. I get drunk normally, is how I enjoy the Randos podcast.
You are, aren't you?
Well, I'm working on it.
He's working on it. I started doing this whole... We started talking about gamers these days needing rewards instantly. They need instant gratification for everything that they do. You know, they have to instantly be good at it.
You got to set those dopamine receptors going.
Yeah. And God damn it, I can't believe it. I started to do the same thing. I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and I started timing in my head how long it was taking me to get from point A to point B, and how much content was actually in between. Like, how much of it was actually fucking necessary. And I'm quite upset. Like today I only did a short stream today because I fucked up. Do you remember the bit in Cosmo Canyon where you take Red 13 through to see...
Yes. His father who's been turned to a statue or something.
Right. Just after that, you go to Nibelheim, don't you? The place that burnt to the ground. So, from the moment I started the stream, I go from Gold Saucer, not all of Gold Saucer, just from the base of Gold Saucer, Twitch, and I fucking hated that bit myself. Take the buggy from Gold Saucer to Cosmo Canyon. Do the Red 13 kind of side questy bit. Go down to the forest. Find Yuffie, the little ninja girl. Then go to Nibelheim. That took me around 2 hours. But I was a dickhead and forgot to save before I went into Nibelheim and got fucked up in the Shinra Mansion like an idiot. I knew the boss was going to probably kill me because I didn't think I was prepped for it. But I was, I think I saved before I went into the town. I didn't. I didn't save from before I got to Cosmo Canyon. So I'd have had to have done the whole thing again. And I was like, was half of this even really necessary? The part in Cosmo Canyon is piss easy, but it's really long. The amount of random battles that just fucking flew at you were ridiculous.
I've never liked random battles.
I'm starting to like them less and less.
I've not played many Final Fantasy games, but I've never liked random battles. to me, to me, random battles are a bit of a dick move, because it's like you can't, if you see a combat, it's a potential to see it and avoid it.
Yep.
That's fine. It's your choice whether you might go into it anyway to get the XP, but it's your choice if you do it. When it's just thrust upon you,
Yep.
it's like, oh, for fuck's sake! And half the time, well, I've told you, didn't I hacked my copy on the PC. I had a program that was basically hacked or I knew what all the RAM locations were for the various health. And if I go onto a random battle, I thought, I really don't want to fuck with this. I'm fed up with this. I just alt tab out and change the health to 1 and then kill them.
Yeah.
Because you could do that. I don't sit back and enjoy it. Clawful says, I agree. Most games don't just sit back and enjoy the theory and gameplay and appreciate games for what it is. I think we get so critical we start to meta games, starts to make it less fun. Final Fantasy VIII is one of my favourite games of all time.
Final Fantasy VIII is an absolutely... I really enjoy it. For me, the classic... The Final Fantasy trilogy, 7, 8, 9, for me, goes in that order. 7's the best, 8's second best, 9 is fucking atrocious. In my wife's case, it goes 9, 8, 7. She prefers 9, 8's second best, 7 she just doesn't like it. But I'm sat there, I don't mean to be overly critical, because I love Final Fantasy VII. It was a brilliant game. Alright, tad overhyped. 8 is an amazing title, but fuck me, I was just picking at it. I was like, where's all the content? Yeah. And I started cutting it up and going, right, so there's the gold saucer here. Then there's a shit ton of random battles. Then Cosmo Canyon. I was like, why have I spent 11 hours doing this so far? There hasn't been 11 hours of content.
I think what's actually more happening is that let's call it, I don't know, your little gauge that monitors how you get your awards come to you has been recalibrated to the newer style games. I think that if you played a few of the old style games, it would recalibrate back, and then you probably find the newer ones too much. Well, I think it's just getting used to the old style games again.
See, I've played Grandia recently, and I fucking loved every second of that. Yeah. And that is a very old game, Final Fantasy VII territory, Final Fantasy VII, 8 territory. Very, very, very good game. Love the shit out of it. Can't complain about any of it. Decent battle mechanics. Like I said, the voice acting's passable for the time. Graphically, it's all right. The music's amazing. But just little bits about 7, I was just like, how did I like this back in the day? It is still good, but where was the content? Why did I spend half an hour listening to some random prick talking about how his dad was an asshole? And how he's going to run the fucking everything with fear. And I'm going to watch some fat guy punching out some random guy on a beach. Like, I don't give a fuck about this. Just, come on, let's move on. I already know where I'm going to go.
Yeah. Do you think that part of that might be because you know where you're going?
Yes, that's the problem. I'm timing it in my head.
And you're thinking, oh, I've got to do this bit.
Yeah.
Oh, this bit's got a good story, but it's going to be fucking forever to get through it.
Yes, and that's the thing. I was looking at the bits that I really enjoyed, but I was like, I have to go through all of this slog to get to the bit that I like.
You see, I find if I've watched a film, which I've watched a few times, I generally find myself half watching it, so it'll be on, but I actually find myself, checking like emails on my phone or perhaps doing work on the PC. I mean, for I used to watch old series, I often have the series on the screen next to me, and I'll be doing work on the other computer, and I'm just all glancing back and forth because I know what's coming up. Yeah. It's almost like I'm having it there just for the sake of having something in the background.
Yeah, I do that all the time with audiobooks.
Yeah, I do think that's. I think that's. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's what it is. Just you know, if you could delete Final Fantasy VII from your brain, you might be enjoying it more.
There's a lot of stuff.
Because I played it a few years ago, and I was really loving it, and because I'd never played it before. So I didn't know what was coming up and so forth. I didn't know that. I was amazed at how big the story seemed to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But you know what the scale is.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine at the very start where you're really confined, it feels really claustrophobic.
Yeah. Well, I found that I was blasting through parts of the game really quick. But it's just, like I say, it's just parts like Cosmo Canyon. I really like Red 13's side story there. I really like that. It turns out that Red's actually just a child. We thought that he wasn't, but he's a child. Yeah. Fucking hates his dad for a silly reason. Turns out his dad's actually the hero of the fucking land. Great. But that entire cave, I remember it being a lot harder as well.
Yeah.
From all those years ago. I've actually found myself going, right, I'm not going to use summon materia. Because summon materia takes too fucking long. It looks cool, but whilst that animation's playing, you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
I can't say, okay, randomly select an attack, and then say attack this NPC here. I have to wait for the animation to finish. So
You
I'm
almost
going
want
for
to skip animation button, don't you?
Well, in Final Fantasy VIII, they remedied that by whilst the animation was playing, it would come up with a separate menu on the side to say, okay, now pick what you want to do. So you had your random regular attack thing, and then instead of letting you select a monster with your little finger, your little cursor pointer, it would just come up with a list of monsters on the side, and you pick it.
Yes,
so you could still move through the you could still move through the battles.
So you can be logging up your next step as you go. So that sounds to me that was obviously there was also a problem at the time that they fixed that perhaps you didn't notice at the time. Because how old were you when you played Final Fantasy VII the first time?
I just started high school.
So teens, basically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was a problem even back then, but I mean, playing it now, I'm just thinking it was annoying back then. It's more annoying now.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that they fixed it in 8.
Yeah, that's again half problem. Sometimes another thing. If you've played the sequels of games and you go back to how the first game did it, you think, oh yeah, I remember this was shit. This is why they changed it.
Yeah. Like you didn't think it was shit to start with, but now it is.
Yeah.
Or it's more so a problem than it used to be.
You didn't. Yeah, I also think it's a case of you didn't realise it was a problem until they fixed it, and then you play and I think this is so much better. But it was fine. You're going to know what the problem was, and you go back and play and think, oh yeah, now I see why they fixed it.
Yeah.
Now it makes perfect sense to me. They had a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I still really love the story. I do, but just sometimes I'm like, oh my god, enough with the random battles, enough with the really stupid mechanics where all of a sudden I'm fighting a couple of guys, I kill them, I get a shit ton of experience, I get a shit ton of AP for my materia. However, like they were really easy to curb stomp. However, I then go up to this next enemy that does a shit ton of damage, takes a little bit longer to beat, but gives me no points for it.
Yeah.
Like the sense of scale's ridiculous, and I'm forced to fight them.
I think the other issue that we have now as well with these old games is we are spoilt now for choice of what we can play. Whereas back in the day, you had a few games and you play them to death because you know if you're a youngster you could afford lots of games. So you get perhaps one, you might get a game at Christmas and a game at your birthday. That might be it, and you had to play them to death because that's all you had, or you can say so forth. So, but now the whole time you're playing this, your brain's thinking,
I could play something else right now. Or, this kind of sucks. What if I was doing this?
All this time I'm spending walking from A to B, I could have been, soldering a motherboard in my arcade cabinet. There's so many other things vying for your attention now.
Yeah.
And it is hard actually to get out of the I'm wasting my time. Which I find sometimes fun with gaming in general. I sometimes think to myself, could I be spending my time better?
Oh god, I do it all the time.
Yeah. But I rectify it by saying, this is what I'm doing to relax.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be relaxing in the other thing, so this is so I'm not wasting my time because I'm relaxing doing it.
You just have to hope that the thing that you are actually doing is actually relaxing you, and you're not spending more brain cycles picking the fucking thing apart than you are actually kind of enjoying playing the game, absorbing the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish it. I just can't believe I made such a stupid mistake, which then reminded me how much I hate some of the base mechanics of that game.
Yeah.
I definitely couldn't go back and play Final Fantasy IX after going back and playing Final Fantasy VII now, because one of the things that I like about 7 and 8 is how flexible they are with characters. So in all other Final Fantasies, if you needed a healer, you had to have a white mage or a type of mage, like white mage, red mage, whatever, right? You had to have a mage to do proper healing. 7 and 8 were like, fuck, mate, if you don't like the magey character, don't take him, but give healing skills, like the little crystal that gives people healing abilities, give it to the person you do like.
Yeah.
That was great. 9 is like, nah, mate, you're going to have the healer in your team. They're all fucking shit.
See, a lot of team RPGs, I think, make this mistake where they tie the person's role to their character. I actually think what they should do is have the role completely separate. Here's your new character. Here's what they're like. Here's what they're cool. They say like using bows. Do you want to be a ranger? No, I need a healer. Fine. They'll be the fucking healer. Yep. They'll be just as good a healer as anyone else you pick to do that job. They're not going to have a favoritism like, this is what I prefer to do. Nope. You want them in your party, but you need a healer. You don't have to pick and choose. Fucking have them in your party. They're a healer.
Yep. And that's one of the things that I like about 7 and 8 that they broke in 9 and later Final Fantasies. The fact that if I wanted to do this kind of damage, or I needed a specific skill, I had to have a specific character. And it just makes me want to fucking puke.
If I remember correctly, there's no actual, like, classes per se, is there, in Final Fantasy? Is there?
There are. But not in 7 and 8.
That's what I mean. In the set, that's what I'm talking about, 7 and 8. It's all just down to your skills, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all down to your material that you equip.
Yeah, that's the way. Why you got rid of that, I don't know, because that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 7 was the first one they did that in.
Yeah.
And then they did it again in 8. And then, for some reason, I guess they decided classic Final Fantasy was more of a thing and went back to it and stuck to it.
Didn't 10-2 have the theme where you changed your outfits to change your class?
I have no idea, because I've never played 10-2.
I vaguely think that... perhaps some of our viewers might know it. I vaguely have a memory. I didn't actually play 10-2 myself, but my sister did. I thought that in 10-2, you basically, your class was like determined by what outfit you were wearing, and so you could just change your outfit. So you just chop and change your class on, not on the fly, but like between missions, you can say, okay, this mission I'm going to be a warrior.
Which was the same thing that they let you do in Final Fantasy XI, which is one of the things that I really enjoy about the Final Fantasy MMOs.
That's where it came from. That's where they followed on from.
Sure. Well, because in Final Fantasy XI, you start your character and you'll pick a base class, and so I always pick warrior or some kind of random tanky class. But then if my group says, we're down a healer, we need a healer, I'm like, shit. Well, I happen to have a healing set of gear.
Yeah.
I could just go and change my job class. Is this level sufficient? And they'll go, yeah, okay, cool. I will go back to my Mog house, my character house, and then I could actually change my job right there. And as long as I had the gear to use, I could still do the job pretty well.
That's the smart way to do it. Although the fact that you've got to level up the gear separately.
Well, no, each job has a separate level.
Yes, I mean you have to level up the job separately. I would personally prefer that your character is XYZ level. You change the gear, you're that level. Because then you can pass it with anybody. Then you can switch between your roles between yourself.
But then that would mean that you would end up being, so for example, if I was a warrior at say level 20, and I decided, okay, well now I'm going to be a black mage, I have no idea how to play black mage because I haven't worked my way up.
Well, that's true. That would still add a skill element to it, but it's not.
It would be easier for sure.
Yeah, it's not. It's allowing you to, when you've learned it, it allows you to be more flexible. You have to say, guys, I know how to play a level 20 wizard, but I haven't upgraded that on this character. I've not upgraded that job level to that level, so I'm gonna be a shit level 20, level whatever. Whereas, oh guys, I'm level 20. What do you need me to be? I've got experience playing all the different classes. What do you need me to be? I'll just change that class.
Yeah, but then in the grand scheme, though, if you were going to do it that way, I mean, it doesn't take it still doesn't. If you play Final Fantasy 14, it doesn't take it because they have pretty much the same system there. It doesn't take a huge amount of time to level up a job class. And the hardest part is actually just getting the equipment for that job class.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you could still have that as a sort of barrier to entry. Because I've always wanted to do if I was doing an RPG. I know some others have done this. If I did an MMO, I'd actually not have levels. It'd all be equipment based.
Secret World did that.
Oh, cool.
So
they stole my idea.
Characters could go. You did have levels for base stats, and you went from like basically 1 to 20, and then everything else was based on what equipment you had.
Yeah, because I always found that with what I always liked about certain games like Stalker, actually, it's sort of an RPG, but there's no skills per se. It's all based on your equipment.
Yeah.
So the difference between an experienced Stalker and an inexperienced Stalker is what gear they've got. Yeah. Basically, and that I liked because it's sort of independent of you, and you could go in go in any direction. You're not just popping points into something.
Yeah.
You don't just like, I'm just going to add 10 points here. All of a sudden, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
It's, oh no, I've got the gear to do it now. I can do it. That's just what I prefer. But we're going quite a bit off top. That's just how I.
Oh no, for sure.
Do it.
But then again, this ties into. I still like Final Fantasy, but there are some things about it that just really piss me off. Yeah. I couldn't play it. I don't think I could play a modern Final Fantasy. The more I play old Final Fantasies, the more I realise I probably. So I have these things over my kind of, should we say, gaming career, my gaming history, Where I fall out of touch with certain genres. I've done it with platformers. I've done it with even entire series before. Like, I can't play a Mega Man game, then games suck. And I'm like, but I used to really love those games. Fighting games, I did that recently. I've had like a 10-year gap from fighting games. When I was talking to Bard, he was like, but we always used to play fighting games at your house. Like, we loved playing fighting games. I come back and I really enjoy them. Now, terrifyingly, it seems to be RPGs. And RPGs are a huge mainstay. They're in my library. They're everywhere.
Is it possible what you're actually suffering from is perhaps overload?
RPG burnout.
Yeah. And what you actually need is to take a break from them and do other things. Because, I think it's the same with most things in life. Let's face it, the stuff that I watch now, primarily, is not the same stuff I watched 15 years ago, TV-wise. As you just simply get older, you move away from certain genres. The sort of games I played when I was young, I wouldn't play now.
Yeah, for sure.
Things like platforms. Platforms have no interest in me at all. I've played some platforms. I just lose interest in completely for various reasons, which I won't go into in depth here. But my sister loves platforms. Her mother, because I said they often play games together. They still play for mainly because being aimed at children, my mother can play them.
Sure.
Bless her.
Bless.
She's been playing The Witcher 3 lately. It's been hilarious watching her play The Witcher 3 because, like, she goes to an enemy and this enemy's got a massive skull over the head saying, "Seriously, this guy's going to fuck you up," and we're saying, "Run, you don't go do this."
She runs at it.
She goes there, so he's hitting with a sword, and they're hitting him, but it's not doing any damage. It's like, no, seriously, run. You're dead. Well, why did you try that? I thought again, skull over the head.
Yeah, mechanics say no.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, same with books. The books I used to read when I was young. I used to read a lot of horror books when I was younger, or Stephen King's and stuff. I've sort of moved away from that now.
Yeah.
I don't really have any interest in going. I've still got loads, but I've not got any interest in reading them again. So I think it's just taste change, and I think they're both a bit cyclical as well. It's like hobbies. You'll go. I think you've drifted out of hobbies as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think necessarily it's you're just stopping on. I think you're just perhaps you've been playing so many lately because you haven't played a lot of RPGs. So you've just.
I always do, don't I? It's the same with visual novels. There was a time when I used to play a hell of a lot of visual novels. Yeah. I've tried to play more visual novels recently, but I'm like, I don't have the time for this. I could be doing something else right now. I could play 2 hours of fighting games and feel rewarded, or put 2 hours into an RPG and feel I haven't gone anywhere.
This is actually why I think, people sort of make mocks of it, but actually one thing that mobile games getting right, the fact that it's quick. Pick up and play, it's quick, it's instant. I mean, I've got some mobile games that I just do just to pass time if I'm like in the middle of nowhere, got nothing else to do, I've got nothing handy. I either read a bit or I might just pick up a mobile game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the way they're designed.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're designed very much to trick you into spending money, pretty much. There aren't many which aren't money grabbing.
Agreed.
But for passing 10 minutes, they're doing something right. They're getting the gratification. They're tricking those little triggers in your head.
Well, that's it. Do you remember how much I really enjoyed Neverwinter Nights back in the day?
Oh, I never liked Neverwinter Nights.
Right. I loved Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah.
That was practically my fucking baby. But we had most of our university course. Our group was playing Neverwinter Nights. Even our electronics lecturer was playing Neverwinter Nights.
Was he?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Our boy Lewis towards the end. Yeah, pretty much on the last day, he said that when he was travelling through the land, he'd think of us.
Oh.
So, because we actually got him into playing Neverwinter Nights. So
I hope he's still around. I have a nasty feeling he might not be, but I hope he is still around.
Yeah. Bless him. So I used to really love that game. Really fucking loved it. I own it on pretty much every platform you can possibly get the game on. And I picked it up again recently. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to have a go at it. But every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, but there's a hell of a lot of dialogue at the start. Oh, I'm going to have to build my character, and that's going to take a lot of time. It's like,
See, I had Neverwinter Nights 2, and I completely bounced off that.
I haven't really played Neverwinter Nights. The first one is the one for me, because you can build... It's got a dungeon builder in it, so it's basically just D&D on a...
I think the second one has as well.
Oh, sure.
I think it has. I think it's got like sort of...
I haven't played the second one enough to...
Yeah. I picked that up when I went to university and I was taking my computer with me. I didn't take loads of games. So I thought I'll pick up an RPG, something that I can get my teeth into, and so forth. And I picked that up, and I just couldn't get into it. Big mistake.
It's the same with a lot of stuff that Bard plays. He plays a lot of the those kind of like Western RPGs, and I fucking hate them now. Once upon a time, I'd completely get it, but when he shows me some of the dialogue stuff, I was like, Bard, they are literally just stood there talking to each other for half an hour. Like, there's a dialogue tree that he showed me, and there was like a YouTube video. Oh, like, funniest clip said by this character. I was like, there's like an hour's worth of dialogue here, mate. Once upon a time, you could sell a game on how much voice dialogue, how much dialogue there was actually in the game. That's dog shit. I don't want to sit there all this time listening to that monotone motherfucker talk.
I think it depends also on the quality of the dialogue, though. If it's something that's quantity and quality, as we all know, is different. I've played RPGs that have got lots of. I think the dialogue is very well written and so forth, and I'm happy to sit through it because I'm like watching it. Having said that, in my head, I think to myself, a big cutscene, a big monumental moment, shouldn't last more than 5 minutes. Okay, little cutscenes in the game, 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah,
and they shouldn't be too frequent. And if you're doing, perhaps you can have a couple little bits where it goes a bit longer than that. You know, perhaps like the sort of like penultimate right towards the end, you can have little bits like that. But if I'm having to sit, because after a while, hitting dialogue options gets boring.
Yeah.
And it's very, and that's the other thing is don't put too many dialogue options in. If sometimes having too many actually makes it worse. Because I think you have to. It's like you're okay. You now got to. You can't. I think half time actually. I think we don't realise when we watch media and listen to media and films and TVs. Half of them actually, we're not actually concentrating on that much on what's being said. It's more the gist of what's being said we're listening to.
Yeah.
But when you play a game and also ask you to make a decision, you think, oh fuck, what were the choices again?
Yeah. No, I have that a lot.
But you would have been fine anyway. You've not got the gist because I think actually that's what you actually end up doing. And too many choices actually. It's like, oh fuck it, just do it.
Yeah, just hit the button. I've had enough of talking for you now. Let's go.
I think a game that gets it right, actually reasonably right, is the Telltale. Well, they're not around.
They're not around.
The Telltale
anymore.
games actually mostly got it right. Dialogue was there, and they had some longish cutscenes. Most of it wasn't too long. You're doing bits in between. They split up quite nicely, so you didn't get overloaded with it, and that worked quite well. So I think. Don't want to say a bad thing, but it's got to be well done. And too many games think they're cleverer than they are.
Yeah, I mean the stuff that Bard was playing. I mean the trouble is he was linking me all these videos to all these really funny sequences that he plays because he plays completely different characters to me.
Yeah.
So characters would react to him differently than they would to me. So a lot of characters, he always had high stats speech, so he would get all these really intelligent strings of text just spit out. Or thrown at him all the time, or he'd play like the mentally handicapped character sometimes just so he could get funny dialogue trees. But it's like, but Bard, I have no context in any of this, so this seems like shit to me.
I was going to say, you're watching these things, but you have, they don't work unless you've already played the game.
Yeah, you're not invested in the world or the character that's actually talking to you. You just see them being a pretentious wanker to a random character for some reason.
Yeah, a line that is funny if you know everything that goes around it. There aren't many lines that are funny all by themselves. So, yes, people watching, I think you watch and you listen to it, and I think an example where has got good one-liners is Portal 2. It's got lots of good one-liners in it. And you can quote their content and they'll be funny. But there are too many games where, these are the X, Y, Z funniest moments. You watch and think, I don't get that. If I played the game,
You'd get it.
I'd get it. But because it's out of context, and trouble is, when he watches them back, because he's played it...
He thinks it's really funny.
Yeah.
He gets it. He's got the full picture.
No, and this person who edited together probably thought it was really funny, but again, they've played the game. But you have no idea what they're going on about.
Or I've played a completely different character class where those characters treated me very differently than how they would have done in this video.
Yeah, and so it makes no sense to you. So that is, yeah... But then I would say, actually, as an example of a game with good dogs, if two different character classes have completely different interactions, to me, that's a sort of good.
It's like, have you played? So, like, I even look at stuff like Deus Ex and Vampire the Masquerade.
Deus Ex got high class dialogue. I assure you.
It's not even
a bomb, JC, a bomb.
It's my problem is like I look at it and I think it's slow. It's just really slow, but that's by design. It's supposed to be, but I just don't think I have the stomach for it anymore. A lot of things I used to like, going back to Final Fantasy VII, and we'll use this as kind of a closing thing. When I'm sat there in a battle, and I'm thinking to myself, that's been like fucking 2 minutes. I've just spent 2 minutes on this fucking battle, and most of that's been watching animations. This is bullshit.
I think Final Fantasy has a big flaw because it's by its nature not very interactive. You are basically. This is why I think actually let's go. You could say in some ways Final Fantasy battles are like Dungeons and Dragon battles. The difference is when you do an action in Final Fantasy, you click on a dialogue tree, you click that, and he does it, and you do this much damage. In D&D, you do an action, you're rolling the dice, you're rolling the damage. That little bit of it's effectively the same thing. It's randomised, but there's that little bit of interaction that makes it you're doing it.
Yeah.
Whereas you're just basically directing a cutscene.
See, they changed that a lot in later Final Fantasies. It's like Bard really loves classic Final Fantasy, so he likes Final Fantasy 1 through 6. I can't stomach those at all anymore. And once upon a time, I used to really quite enjoy them.
Yeah.
They're just too slow for me.
Yeah.
It's just all too slow, which is one of the things I like about Grandia. It's a lot faster.
Yeah.
If I'm sat there thinking to myself, oh, here we go, he's just gone and cast Death Sentence on me, so now I have to wait for the skull animation to play, and my character's going to spin on the spot, and now I've got like a minute to do this battle before they all die.
Yeah, again, those animations should be few and far between.
Once I've seen the summon animation, I should be able to skip it.
Yeah. And I think Final Fantasy X, some animations were so long.
Yeah, they're atrocious.
And yeah, you're right, you should be able to...
Most of the time you've played the game is just literally sitting through animations that you're doing it. Yeah. That's why when I've been playing 7, I've literally gone, right, what's... bio and all, that'll be a good materia combo because lots of human characters in this area, so I'll just fucking poison the bastards, bickety bam, job done. Oh, this area's going to have loads of robot enemies.
Electrical, I imagine?
Yeah, so I'm going to use Bolt and all, and I'm going to equip as many characters as I can to have Thunder Magic and all, so instead of having, because you can just literally spam, basic magic and enemy skills, you can just spam them.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for an animation to go before you select an enemy. You can just keep on hitting the button.
It's a scenario of, I'm in a battle against 3 enemies. I'm going to win this.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to win this, but it's going to take me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing I had when I was playing it. I'd go into a battle, it's like, I really can't be... I know I'm going to win this. These guys are easy, but I can't be asked to fight through it, which again is why I had my little cheat engine program running. Sure. And I was like, I can win this in 2 seconds now.
I will say that the just to save face with these, the new Final Fantasy the remakes or the re-releases of them have kind of a cheat engine function built in, so you can have unlimited limit breaks or unlimited gil or infinite health or something. You can have those things so you can just enjoy the story. But I've been trying to play it through as raw as possible, how I did back in the day. And
I have a great deal of liking of games that have that mode. So Deus Ex Human Revolution had the Tell Me a Story mode. Basically, it's still combat, but it was really, really, really easy.
Like the AI is so thick, you could stand there and do a little dance in front of them before they even noticed you.
So and Mass Effect did the same thing. It had basically you could turn the combat AI down really low, so you basically were playing it for the storyline.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair balance, actually, to the whole idea.
Sometimes we feel because when we look at a lot of that stuff, it's like, oh my god, you'd have to be a right bitch to play on that mode. I did it quite recently. A chap I know played through Doom 2016, but he played it through on easy mode. I was like, what'd you do that for? He's like, because I just wanted to get through the story.
Yeah.
I was like,
what story?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't really think about that. He's like, I didn't want to keep getting killed at any point. I just wanted the satisfaction of shooting things and
I
getting to the end of the game.
And I'd also say, as a person, I for myself playing games, I still normally play most games on normal, but I sometimes find myself playing games on easy settings, not because I'm a sissy or anything like that, but I have limited time to play the games.
Yeah.
I'd rather play more games.
Yeah.
So...
You want to experience them. And...
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll go back and then play them on, Deus Ex Revolution, for example, I went back and I played it on the hardest setting.
Yeah.
Because I'd gone through it on normal, enjoyed it, went back and played through it again on the hardest setting.
Yep.
because I enjoyed that as well. Because at that point, I'm enjoying I know the story, but I'm enjoying the challenge.
Yeah.
So I personally don't ever judge people say, oh yeah, yes. Well, I think it's a thing when you're young, you tend to like you think hard makes you somehow better.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. It just means you want different things out of your games.
Mm-hmm.
And I say you want story, you play on easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, I did that. When was the last I spoke about Way of the Samurai, didn't I? I played through Way of the Samurai a fair while back. I mentioned it on the podcast. I'd gone back and I've launched up PlayStation 2 and played those games. I played them through on easy mode. I'd already beaten those games on hard mode back when I was younger, but I wanted to stream them and show the story, not how long it would take me to hack down a couple of guys in the street.
Yeah. I used to, when I used to play games on easy mode, I used to always have to sort of like feel like I had to justify itself somehow. Now I go, I want to play the game. Mm-hmm. I just want to enjoy the game. Because we did Silent Hill on easy.
Yeah.
We put on easy.
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine that on normal?
No. Oh, my God. I understand why people like it, and it was kind of a neat story, but fucking hell.
Talk about slow games.
Yeah, those not aged well. Then neither is Final Fantasy VII in the grand scheme. Good stories, both games. Yeah. But just they don't... It's like when they say never meet your heroes.
System Drive level settings for combat mission puzzles in cyberspace. If you draw so you could ramp up the mission to turn down the rest. Perfect example of actually that's how you balance it. Because they said so again. Silent Hill did that. You could have puzzle setting difficulty was different to combat difficulty.
Sure.
So you could put puzzles on hard if you really wanted to, and sure, not that there are many puzzles in that game.
No. So if you preferred the combat versus the puzzles, then you know.
And so Scissor had the right idea. Make it
dynamic.
Yeah, make it dynamic.
So you could actually pick and choose.
And let people change it midway through.
Yeah. I will say I do like it when games that you like. I don't like it when a game says to me, hey mate, you've died like fucking 15 times on this point. Do you want me to put it on pussy mode for you? What was that?
No, turn it up.
Yeah, make it harder, you bastards. There was a game actually one of my friends played. I can't remember what it was.
Hello, Noisy Span. You're going to run all the audio.
It said, oh, that's right, I've moved the mics down a couple of times since starting. Apologies. What was it he was playing? It was a game that literally said to him, look, you're really shit at this. Press this button, and I'm skipping this section of the game for you.
Nice.
Like it just literally, I couldn't remember what it was he was playing, but it was fucking hilarious because he didn't mean to skip, but he hit the button and just skipped a section of the game. I was like, you're too shit. Give up. Go home, mate. I'll do it for you. I will play the game for you.
I feel a fair thing with the game that would just say, look, you're clearly not very good at this. I'm just going to say, or better. You complete the section. After you get through the section, the game just pops up and says, you know that bit you finally think you just defeated that, I actually put the enemies on stupid mode. Yeah. Just for you, just to get you through it, because I couldn't handle watching you anymore.
I gave the enemies spud guns because you were the fucking what was that game? Spec Ops: The Line. Yeah. Because when I was playing that through like a while back, for like the third time or whatever. There's always one piece in the game, just one bit, where I end up getting fucked up a lot, over and over. And the game is like, you're a fucking pussy, mate.
Is that the napalm moment?
No. I usually find that part.
So I struggled in that bit. That was
my bit is, there's the big open space with, it's like there's like boats in the middle of like the fucking desert.
Yes.
The big open spaces.
That's quite early on, isn't it?
No, right towards the end. Right towards the end of the game. I can't remember if one of your team has been strung up or something just before or just after this, but you start really fucking losing your shit. This is after the napalm moment.
So napalm's about halfway through, roughly. Yeah. Halfway to 2/3 through.
You've just bust your way out of the mall. You've just fucked up the radio guy and that, and you're now...
Well, the mall's quite early on, isn't it? That's...
No. The escape from the fucking like big tower block. One of your guys is about to get shot in the head, and you have to snipe and then try and get out of the place because you've literally been surrounded. Although in fairness, that sounds very similar to most of the game, but
you shoot a load of people and escape.
Yeah. That's the entire game. Otherwise,
that bit where you shoot all those people? Oh yeah, that bit.
It's really hard to nail down what part it is, but there's this one part towards the end of the game that just fucks me up over and over and over again. And the game's like, mate, look, you're just not very good, mate. Just give up, mate. All right.
Yeah. I think the only bit I struggled with was the napalm bit, getting to the bit where you set the napalm off, and at the bit where you're in the town where that guy you've been working with gets trapped underneath the burning car, and he basically asks you to shoot him.
He's trapped under a burning car. I can't remember now.
Yeah, it's a bit where you have to fight through like a town. And there's a guy he's been helping you, and he gets trying to kind of basically says, "Look, I'm trapped here. You can't get me out. Just shoot me. Don't let me burn to death."
Oh yeah, I remember that bit. Yeah.
And you can either leave him or shoot him.
I found that to be quite easy on both fronts.
Did you shoot him?
Oh fuck yeah!
So
shit. Oh no, second time through, I think I left him.
See, I couldn't do that. That's just one of my little primal fears is the idea of burning to death. So I just couldn't do it. I'd have to shoot him.
Sure.
I could not let.
Well, see, I tried to play each playthrough slightly differently.
Yeah.
But I still love that game.
That just freaked the idea of that freaks me out. It's one of those things that triggers.
The water tanker section. Yeah, as you're leaving the aquarium.
Yeah, it might be there. Yeah.
No, it's just after because you've just drained all the water into the tankers and you're now trying to escape and they fucking pull grenade launchers on you.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
That game was fucking brilliant. Anyway.
Fucking weird.
Brilliant game.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it's a game that is totally and utterly surprising. It's not what the game you're expecting to be playing is not the game you're playing.
I played that game literally just because it had a Linux client.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, fucking hell, this is amazing.
And it's one of those rare times you messaged me saying, play this game.
Yep. And it's good.
Yeah, very good.
It's the one time I was right.
I think there's one time we actually sat down, we'd all played the game recently, because it was Minimised first podcast.
Was it?
Yeah, it was, and we all played it. We all just sat there. We could all actually discuss it. Terrible controls, but...
Well, that was even worse for me, because the first time I played it, I was playing it on a Steam controller. So I didn't even have mouse and keyboard. Second time I played it through, I had mouse and keyboard. Way easier with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
God damn.
I can actually aim.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, holy shit, you guys are dying really easy. I remember this bit being kind of tricky first time round.
Wait, yeah, I can Steam actually aim. I have a very good point and click interface.
So check this shit out. Bam, headshot. Bam, headshot. Wow. This doesn't feel right. Stupid control pad. But yeah, I feel like maybe I'm suffering with a bit of burnout, or I just feel I don't have a huge amount of time to put into games that are going to require a huge amount of time.
Yeah.
I want that quick kind of pick up and play instant shot that I can play and everyone else needs.
Yeah. I find that actually with I find I have burnout from Far Cry. I love Far Cry. You know how much I love Far Cry. It's one of my favourite game series of all time. And I enjoy playing them, but I can only play them for like an hour and a half at the moment.
All right.
But then if I leave it 6-7 months, I'll be able to go back to playing it day after day all the time. But I must have like a year's break in between each game.
Yeah.
And that's why I enjoy playing New Dawn, but it's too close to the last one I played.
Yeah.
So I've had to actually take a break because it's just I think because I've just burnt out on it too much. So interesting.
Sadness.
Right. Anything else at all?
I just want to throw out there, I've gone back to another game that I suffered with burnout on, Splatoon 2.
Oh, really?
This weekend...
To be fair, you did play it to death.
I did. It's the most played game I've played on Nintendo Switch with nearly 200 hours on it. And for me, 200 hours is a fucking lot when it comes to games. Yeah. So me and Bob, as we were saying, that I'd play less than 200 hours a year back in the day. So to say that I'd put 200 hours into a game is a hell of a lot. But it's the last Splatfest this weekend.
Oh.
So there won't be any more after this Splatfest. The game will still obviously run. There just won't be any more special events for people to play in.
Imagine if you joined every single one of them. You'd be fucking mental.
Well, I've missed a few.
Yeah.
This time round, and the last one I didn't even get to finish.
Now, this is the important bit. What's the question?
Order or chaos?
Ooh. Well, if you go by Warhammer, I'm a chaos player in Warhammer Age of Sigmar because I play Skaven. Mm-hmm. In Warhammer 40k, I'm an order player because I play a Tau. So I'm sort of split in the middle, really.
Oh dear!
But
you have to pick one.
I'd probably sit on the side of order because I'm a goody two shoes. I thought you'd be chaos.
I was chaos.
I thought you would.
I went team chaos.
So did order beat or did who?
I don't know yet. I won't know till Monday. Although the thing is with Splatfests, I've been playing them a lot. I know I've been getting my ass handed to me a lot, but I haven't actually been collecting my rewards for the Splatfest, because if you don't get them within like a week of the Splatfest finishing, you don't get any reward for it. So I've literally been participating and just not playing it.
Why is it just not automatically added to your account?
Not a clue. Not a fucking clue. Because if you don't log in within a certain period, you don't even get to see who won anyway.
Far Cry 5 did that thing where it had like every there were like themes for the week, and you do a certain challenge and you got something. But as soon as you did the challenge, it just instantly was in the game. That's it. It's yours now.
Yeah.
Well, I only did about 4 or 5 of them. I got bored of them, so.
Yeah, that kind of annoys me. That was what I was wanting to say about the last thing. Just everything just seems like it's artificially padded. The game is far longer than it really needed to be. But in the case of the Splatfest, just if you don't log in within like Monday to Friday after the Splatfest, they say, oh well, you don't really care. Bam, that's what you get. You didn't log in.
It's a line of code.
Yeah,
it's a line. It's an entry in a database.
Mm-hmm.
Did person play game and play a Splatfest during this time frame? Yes.
Well, they still
add this to the database.
They still, I mean, they know, because if you look on your Nintendo account, they still log what score you had at the end and what team you played on, but they just don't give you the
thing. How weird is that?
Yeah, I know, it's bizarre. It's really not that I really care, because I've got a massive stock of the reward from previous Splatfests that I never fucking use, and a lot of people who watch me play are like, shit, dude, you've got a lot of money in this game. It's like, yeah, because I just use base gear. Like, I don't need the fancy gear that they keep trying to sell you. I don't need it, so I've just got stocks and stocks of cash. Admittedly, this was the worst Splatfest I've ever played. Not like, theme-wise was good, art style was good, I was okay with the music of it, the levels were okay, because there was a lot of like shifty stations, and I generally hate those. I always play my worst on those stages. Themed stages. They seem to like just bundle all of them into a lot of previous Splatfest stages were on this Splatfest. To me, maybe I was wrong, I don't know. I swear I'd seen a lot of them before. But I played like absolute shit, and I'd never played at a rank so low ever in the history of my entire time playing Splatoon. Whether or not it was my team being shite or if it was just me, I was consistently at the top of my team.
So you weren't consistently shite?
No, I was always near enough at the top of my team, but I got my ass kicked a lot. So I was sat in the somewhere between like 1700 bracket, and I normally hit 19s to 20s with no problem. So I was quite a way lower than I was. But, I mean, often I'd see my teammates just run at the enemy firing. It's like, you're going to lose. Just move, dodge, do something, please. And they'd just die. I was like, oh, great, thanks. But yeah, Splatfest, it's over, it's done.
It's kind of sad in a weird way.
It is, because I'm hoping they do what they did with Splatoon 1. At the end of Splatoon 1, they released amiibos of the main characters, or the main... That was the Squid Sisters in Splatoon 1. So if you put those on your Wii U gamepad, you'd get to see kind of the Splatfest lobby. Because Splatfest have a different design to the lobby. So it would be like a gig. There'd be like a festival in, say, the main home hub land. Rather than it just being like a city street or whatever, there'd be a random gig would be playing there instead. I'm hoping they do the same thing with Splatoon 2, because it would just be nice to just occasionally log into the game and tap the thing and see the concert going on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whether or not they can actually do it, I don't know, but it'd be cool if they did.
You know what will happen? Splatoon 3.
Yeah, probably actually. It was one of the biggest selling games on the system.
It's one of their best selling new IPs.
I was very surprised by it. I mean, I really enjoyed the first 2 games. Just, again, shamefully, I burnt out on it because I played a hell of a lot of it. So, yeah. Sad to see the Splatfest go. A lot of people I know didn't really play the Splatfest after a while because it was all just the same stuff over and over and over again. But, you know.
I'm kind of sad in a weird way. I've never played Splatoon.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
I mean, because it's not hard.
I miss all the silly questions.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, how hard is it to just, dip your hand in a fucking pot and say, oh, yeah, what's your favourite takeaway? Splatfest,
Splatfest? No, I wouldn't have Splatfest for a takeaway.
Yeah, sure, it could be pretty good.
Oh, well, what is your favourite takeaway?
Probably a curry.
Yeah, I'll probably go Chinese.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's tough, though, because is it Chinese with dumplings?
It's up to you, mate.
Oh, I don't know, it's hard. Can I just have them all?
Yeah, Indianese then.
Yeah, just give me my curry
Indianese.
with Chinese dumplings, and bam, I'm done.
Indianese.
Fucking good stuff. Oh, actually, I'd probably have to say Chinese then.
I would have Chinese.
Yeah, probably Chinese.
What do you normally have from the Chinese? Dumplings, we've established that.
Yeah, pork chow mein, egg fried rice, Inky normally makes the order, but I usually just have a huge plate of a lot of stuff on it. Lots of different things on it.
So I normally have a house special chow mein, so it's a chow mein with everything in it.
Yeah.
Egg fried rice.
Yep.
Sweet and sour chicken balls.
Oh yeah, gotta have those. Yeah.
Spring rolls, vegetable.
Yeah.
I prefer vegetable as my favourite. I don't like.
I have a mix of both.
I prefer plain vegetable. I often have satay chicken skewers.
Yep. We have to have those too.
Prawn crackers.
Yeah, have those too.
That's usually what I have for me.
Yep. And dumplings. Gotta have dumplings and a bit of duck. And
Not a fan of duck, if I'm honest.
I don't really care. I'll eat it. Man, dude, I'll happily eat haggis. It's all good.
I like haggis.
Love haggis.
But I was very disappointed when I went to buy haggis. You can't get them in sheep's stomach very easily anymore. It's all artificial. I know.
Why? Quickly. Why?
Perhaps the sheep complained.
Fuck them. They taste good.
I do, but
well, that's come out. How many episodes has that been? He's actually said it. Rather than alluding to it, he's actually just gone flat out said it now.
yeah, well. we just lost a viewer there as well. I was like, I'm fucking disgusted. I'm leaving.
Oh, keyboard warrior.
Be scared you got this podcast? No.
What's wrong with that? Right, fuck it. Moving on.
So I've been playing. I've been playing a strategy game.
Have you?
Yes.
Shit, fuck a simulator.
No, that's Sheep Shagger Simulator. You know, this is where you can't get in the box otherwise. Being PFC today.
I was going to say you're not getting it from the top shelf.
Yeah. It's not always specialist
in the brown bag.
Yeah. Well, Steam does now allow all these expletive games on there. You know, it's still just in your Steam library.
Can't have any of that on Sony platforms.
Stop eating me. Stop being so delicious. Yes, I'm playing 911 Operator.
It sounds amazing, mate. Riveting. Come on, what's going on?
So, it's a game where you...
Let me guess. Are you an operator for 911 calls?
I am.
Oh, my God. I didn't ever guess.
And in the game.
How does it go?
Well, so it's...
Someone calls you up.
Well, it's a strategy game, so it's a free set. So you...
Strategy? Shit, my house is on fire. Fire
what the
engine
fuck do you want me to do about it?
Righto, fire engine. Where do you live? All right, dispatch over there.
So,
how's that a strategy?
Well, you've got to say go there.
Fuck them. Excuse me. What was it they used to say that? Because they always used to say that like American police were racist. So if you said that you're like a white family or you're in a white neighborhood, they'd tell
Help!
really
My
quick.
family's burning down.
They're like, oh, it's a white woman. Let's go save her then.
Oh yeah. So anyway, basically,
Middle of Harlem, fuck 'em.
You are the 911 operator, but for some reason you're also in charge of the city's budget. Because you start the
You've
game.
been mugged. Fuck you, mate. We ain't got the budget for that.
Yeah. You usually sit there in your jacuzzi.
Oh no, your mansion's on fire. Don't worry about it, mate. I've got you covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean, peasant? What do you mean that block of flats is on fire?
So yes, you're a 911 operator, but for some reason you also control city's budget because. So you start the game, and it takes place in several cities across America, and you start in the arse end of nowhere, and gradually work.
Bumfuck Missouri. Then.
It's actually, I think you're in Hawaii. You start with, I believe.
Hawaii? That's not middle of nowhere. It's a nice place to live.
It's still in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but then so's here.
Well, yeah.
So's London in the grand scheme compared to Texas.
The American probably heard of London. Yeah. Anyway, I'm on this little. So basically, you start off with, and you have a number of teams.
Most people haven't heard of Hawaii.
No one's heard of Hawaii. It's that weird place with pineapples.
Happy people.
And they make pizza there.
Good job. Go on then.
So that's where pizza come from. So you start off with, and you have a number of teams, and your teams are split into fire brigade, ambulance, and police. Mm-hmm. and you have and your team consists of a vehicle, of which are different types. So there are lots of different types, but basically they boil down to police will have a motorbike, and vehicles have a number of slots for operators, and slots for, in police case, prisoners, and in ambulance cases, patients. So police motorbike, and you'll like this, has space for 2 police officers on it.
Cool. Yep.
No place for prisoners though.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
Could put a sidecar on.
You could always nick someone, stick them onto the back of the bike, and
Put
say,
them on
"Right,
pinion.
mate, you're walking," or you sit on him.
Yeah, you can also fold them over pinion stuff.
It's like, there you go, just fucking get it, just throw him over the back.
And if you really piss me off, I'll lean too far to the left.
Yeah, just there goes your head, mate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. What happened? Well, he was a bit of a dick.
So they and then they'll have patrol cars. Patrol cars have space for 2 policemen and 2 prisoners. Then you got the vans that have place for 4 policemen and 4 prisoners. Helicopters as well. And so ambulance will be the same. They haven't got any haven't got these all small vehicles. They've got paramedics vehicles, 2 people in place for patient. Ambulances. They have a helicopter as well, which can pick people up. Fire brigade, they have everything from quad bikes to sort of big engines to helicopters and so forth. So they all have a mixture of different sizes. Fire brigade's case, they don't need space for passengers because they're not going to transport the fire back to the fire station, are they?
You never know. Wow. I mean, it is a fire station. Where else do you get your fire from? I'm going
to put the rest of the fire over here.
There you go. Yeah. The fire station is now full, inventory complete, updated. We have plenty in stock.
Yeah. And so you have to operate, and you also can assign equipment to the operators. So generally speaking, your police, you want to give more or less a handgun because it's America and they will get shot at. I can't wait.
You've pulled over Granny for a routine traffic stop. 3 officers down.
Yeah. It's slightly disturbing because the fire brigade, by default, aren't issued fire suits or breathing apparatus. You have to buy those.
But wait, what?
They don't have them by default.
In you go, lads, you're fine.
Yeah, I sort of assumed that would be the default thing they'd be given,
Here's a brown paper bag.
But no, you have to buy. Remember when you start, your budget is $2,000. I think a fire suit's $1,500. So I've got 10 firefighters. Only one of them can have a fire suit.
In you go, mate. You'll be fine. We'll be out here.
Take it in turns. So he comes out, puts a fire suit to the next person. They just take it in turns.
Oh, he's dead. Run in.
Yeah. Oh no, that was our only breathing mask. Fuck. So you get more equipment, and equipment, generally speaking, helps them do their job better. So.
I bloody hope so. Poor fireman. You tight bastard.
Yeah, you can equip police with a police dog, which is interesting on the bike.
I was going to say, how do you get the... Well, that's why you'd have a sidecar. Because I was actually going to make that. I was going to say, hey, what about the dog on the bike?
But you can... So
his little bike helmet, his goggles.
And likewise, ambulance crew are not issued by default with first aid kits. You have to buy those. Admittedly, these things don't make them. They don't. It just makes them. All it does is basically make them do their job quicker. It doesn't actually stop them doing it. So.
Oh no, mate! I haven't got any blasters.
yeah. So that's your. So you equip with your guys. You get them all equipped. And
have we got any gauze? Well, we've got this industrial roll here. Or I'll just take this tiny piece of gauze,
fold it in my pocket,
out of my first aid kit. You got a load there, yeah, but I've got a first aid kit. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. But you can also buy things like defibrillators, form, and so forth. And the great thing is they can only have 2 bits of equipment each. So the fire brigade can either have a jacket and a breathing apparatus. They can't have any technical tools to help them break into things. They can't have those. That's not allowed. Because
you're not clever enough.
Despite the fact they've got a fucking engine there that they could put stuff in.
That's a modern shooter. You can have a main weapon and a side
weapon. Yeah,
that's
main weapon, suit, secondary, breathing apparatus.
That's all you've got, mate. How am I going to get in? I don't know. Figure it out. Get your mate who hasn't got breathing apparatus to knock down the door.
Yeah. So you can buy more vehicles and so forth. So you get more equipped, and then you go to deployment. Okay. So you get a map of the city, and it's basically like a blueprint type map with all the street numbers and all streets on it. And you can basically say, okay, I want to put this patrol, and it's all split into patrols basically. I'll put this patrol here. So generally, you try and spread them out. So what I tended to do was, of course, and obviously things are different. So a bike is faster than a police car. So I tend to put the bikes all in the main part of the city so they can be like the rapid response. Helicopters tend to put in the centre of the map. So theoretically, everything's an equal distance away from them.
Yeah.
So there's no, while on the other side where it could be necessary. I try and sort of have like an even balance of ambulances everywhere. So dotted all over the place. So it's all evenly balanced. Mm-hmm. Once you're happy with your deployment, you then start your duty. And you'll basically, so the game starts, basically it's a time. I didn't actually time how long each sort of like, but you'll get, there's a time which counts round, that's how long, but I don't know, I've not actually looked to see how long it takes. Because it doesn't count down, it just tells you the time in hours, as it were. Like, okay. You know, it's now 12:15 in the morning type thing. I didn't actually look to see how long that works in the real world. But it's not very long. I would say probably sort of 5-10 minutes at level. So you start time, and you basically go to there. Your police will just sort of patrol around an area. Ambulance and fire will just stay where they are. They're waiting. But like you see them waiting in the car park, waiting for a call. Yeah. And you'll get two different types of incidents pop up. You'll get ones that just pop up on the map. They'll just pop up and appear, and you'll get a little notification, new incident, and you'll click on it, and it'll tell you, you'll get a brief description. You get this little window pop up, and it'll give you a brief description of the incident, and it'll say, like, okay, there's been a car crash involving a drunk driver. And it'll say like, okay, there's been one victim hurt, and it's colour code as well. So white means ambulance, blue is police, red is fire brigade. One person's hurt, and the certain driver is there as well. And so it'll be like half blue, half white on the little icon as well. So icon tells you. So you know you need both policemen down there, and you also need to send ambulance to them. Now, obviously, an ambulance, generally speaking, you want someone who can transport people. Not much because they can't. Police. Also, if they're going to arrest somebody, they need to be able to transport them to the police station. So you might want to send a vehicle that's got the ability to arrest people. Or you might get some pop-up like, speeding offence. A car's been identified speeding in this area. You might just send a bike after that, because they're not going to arrest. It's unlike, unless something goes wrong, they're not going to need to arrest the guy. Yeah. So they can send a bike after that. Yeah. And this will just pop up. They'll create. You'll get, and it seems to be a bit randomised how often they pop up. Sometimes you'll just get one or two. The most I've had in general was 5. With one exception I'll get to in a second, with 5 ongoing at a time and having to redirect people and so forth. And as you get later on, you will find yourself having to plan, okay, what is this incident? Okay, there's a big fight going on, there's 8 people there. I'm not going to send the 2 police on the bike with the handguns. I'm going to send the big guy, the big van with all the guys armed with body armour and rifles, because this could go badly very easily. Sure. So you will find yourself starting to prioritise. You have to do it as well if you want to do it efficiently. So the vehicle will drive there. When it gets there, basically a timer starts on that. You'll get like a situation report up here if you want to look at it, and it'll show you all the suspects, any type of obstacles, and it'll have a little timer. You'll get a little timer over it, and that time is the same, but how fast it goes down depends on how many people you've got there and what they're equipped with. So if you've got people. If you send a fireman to take on a burning building, it might take him 600 seconds to put it out. Or it takes 600 seconds regardless. But if you send a big fire engine, it'll still take some time, but they'll go down a lot quicker. Yeah, sure. So it just changes how far the time drops down rather than overall count, if that makes sense. Sometimes you've got situations where you'll send stuff and you'll have to send like backups. They'll go and it'll seem like quite minor. And also you'll get, we need backup. You have to send another unit over there. Sure. What then happens is occasionally you'll get a phone call, and you'll get this little thing pop up, and it's a 911 phone call. And if you click on it, that's when you get and it's all recorded, voice record dialogue. And it pops in, you'll say, 911, what's your emergency? And you'll start talking to the person. You'll get dialogue options, and they're quite simple. And because you're basically told, I can't remember, it's the 4 W's. It's where, who, what, and something else. I can't remember the last ones. Basically, the first thing you want to do is where are they? So that's the first you try and find out where are they, what's going on, who's been injured, and as much information as you can. And there are right ways and wrong ways to deal with these dialogue options, and they're quite varied. Actually, I'm quite impressed actually how quite varied they are. So you'll get some which are like actually just quite simple. Okay, there's been a car accident, 2 people were injured. I've just seen it. Okay, where are you here? All right, I'll send an ambulance. Nice and easy. Sometimes there'll be things like I had one where someone said, this woman asked me to order a pizza. And I said, like, what? Why are you asking me if you want to order pizza? Do you not know who you've dialed? She goes, yes, I know. Yes, I know. I want to order pizza, and then you can say, piss off, or you can say, is there a reason why you're asking me to order pizza? If you're in trouble, are you in trouble?
Yeah.
And I clicked on that, and she said, yes, I'd like a large margarita and so forth.
Sure,
okay.
So she's having to speak in code, but she can't.
But I could have easily gone, wrong number, sorry, and just closed it.
Yeah. Then that would have escalated. And
so I basically had to ask questions to find out where she was. Obviously, if she had to give his delivery address, that's fine. And I managed to get information out of her, and basically I got the police to go down there, and she was actually being beaten up by her husband. Her husband was drunk and violent, and she was, and I saved the day.
Yeah.
Yay. Sometimes you can deal with situations without saying forces. So, like somebody said, feel really bad in my stomach. I'm throwing up everywhere. And I said to him, have you been drinking recently? I did go to a party last night. I said, could you perhaps be drunk, perhaps hungover? Yeah, you're probably right. Sorry for bothering you. And that still gets marked as a resolution. You've resolved that because you've answered the question. You sorted it. Sometimes you might fuck up and do it all wrong. Like I tried to get someone to deliver a baby, didn't know how to, and it all went badly wrong. And I said, look, don't do anything else. I'm sending the ambulance. I'm just sending the ambulance.
The ambulance is on its way.
Mother and daughter survived. You'll be pleased
Good to know.
Yes, it all went horribly wrong. Turns out I don't know how to deliver children. Who knew?
Surprise!
I can do lambs. I can do sheep. I can help deliver a lamb from a ewe. I've no idea behind calves. Pigs sort themselves out. Poultry are very different. There you go. So
humans, not a fucking clue.
Yeah. So it's quite a simple, straightforward game. You'll pick up the idea very quickly. It doesn't tend to throw a lot of curveballs at you, except when I was doing the San Francisco map. What's San Francisco known for?
Being shit.
And earthquakes. Halfway through, all of a sudden the map starts vibrating, and my operator goes, what the fuck's happening? Oh shit, it's an earthquake. And I go from, and all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep.
Everything goes
I've got everything's on fire, and I've got 6 fire engines.
Oops. Can you redirect funds from one department to another to, like, say, I don't know, you don't need as many police at some point, so maybe you can take that money and give it to the fire department?
You don't so much direct funds as you buy stuff outright. So you buy a fire engine. So it's not like there's a budget there they're spending. There is like a daily budget that comes off them when they use this stuff up. There's not like a budget they're spending per se. You just buy stuff and say, I'm going to buy a new fire engine this time and so forth. I don't think you can sell things. I don't think you can sell equipment. I haven't tried. I've not even looked. So you could say, but generally speaking, you want to have more things, and you will find yourself getting a balance of, okay, I need more policemen because I had a lot of trouble not getting enough calls. Because so basically you get measured on your efficiency, how you deal with calls, and basically means saying the right people and the right thing. So if you send a cyclist to a fight, he can sort the fight, but he can't. He's just going to sit there idle. He can't take these guys to the police station. You've got to wait for a paddy wagon to come take him away.
Yeah, sure.
So you are slightly stuck in that situation. So that wouldn't be so good efficient with use of resources. If you send a van to take out someone speeding, that's a bit overkill.
Yeah, for sure.
4 heavily armed guys take out a guy who just ran a red light. It's a little bit OTT.
I'll stop him from doing it.
But you can if you need to. And you also get a reputation. Reputation is based on how you resolve incidents. So if you fail to resolve an incident in time, so like you forget, perhaps I forgot someone's having a heart attack, and missed them, and they died presumably.
Oops. They sorted themselves out.
I lost a bit of reputation for that. And then you also get money. I don't know how the money's calculated, but you get a load of money and then you spend it. And if you keep your reputation up quick enough, you'll find yourself game moves on to the next city. And there's about 8, and you get from quite quickly. I'm already on the lot. I played about 3-4 hours, and I'm already on the last city.
That's not bad though.
It's not bad.
How much is the game? Just quickly.
Okay, so it's on sale at the moment for $2.99 for the full version. Okay.
4 hours, $2.99. Fuck, that's not worth it.
No, normal price is $10.99.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. That is with all the DLC. Okay. It's got lots of DLC. That's with all of them included. So you've got Chicago. You need lots of police officers in Chicago. Albuquerque, right? New Mexico. I got a phone call from this woman who's very concerned that her husband, who's a science teacher, has been hanging out with a local youngster.
Oh, dear.
And she thinks he might be doing drugs. I'm like, arrest him.
Do him right now.
Yeah, do him. I'm not going to take any chances. Arrest him. Where's Hank? Get him sorted. That's what I think at the moment is that it's very much what I call it's a bit of a. It's also I think this is a bit like a rough diamond. They've got the cool mechanics there, but you want a bit more. So I want SWAT teams. I want rapid response safe. I want perhaps sort of like emergency response vehicles that just do one thing that's to have on standby.
Yeah,
I want that sort of thing in there and have to deal with situations like they are adding that there's a new one coming out next year called 112 Operator.
Okay.
And they're apparently adding a lot of these things you're going to have to deal with bad weather and so forth. So it looks like they're going the right way.
Sure.
My biggest gripes of it is actually all basically its interface. The interface has got some little glitches in it, which are bad. It's not glitch is one word. It's badly designed in certain ways. Okay. So the basic interface, big map of the city in the middle. Left hand side, you've got just a bit of top corner which tells you reputation and so forth. To be honest, you don't need to worry about that until the end of the level. That means nothing. You can't. If you're doing your job properly, you're doing your job properly. Mm-hmm. You know you're doing it wrong. It's not like you can turn around and fix it. You know how to do it properly. It's quite straightforward. That, to be honest, is not needed. You also got on the right hand side a little tab. If you open it up, it brings up a list of all your units. Mm-hmm. And it'll tell you if they're in a firefight, if they're on patrol, if they're on the way to an incident. So at a glance, you can see who have I got free. Admittedly, you can see it on the map, but sometimes when you've got lots of units and it's a big map, that's how you can just look at the list and you can just click on them and go, right, okay, you can go there and so forth. On the right, you've got a similar tab that has all the instants. But all it'll tell you is, it'll give you a little icon which shows you what's needed at the incident, like police, fire, whatever. A brief, 2-3 word sentence description, summary of what it is, drunken fight, car accident, electrical failure, electrical fuse box blown, something like that. And then it'll give you a little time, that's how long since that incident became live. So there's also have a window that goes on top right, which is like your real in-depth thing. So they'll have a information page, which tells you, think of it like a separate window, that has an information page that tells you, again, same description of the incident, but then like a paragraph description of what's gone on, and then it'll list, okay, this incident, 4 suspects believed to be armed, or definitely armed. You go, okay, that gives you an idea of what you need to send. Mm-hmm. Because obviously, 4 suspects are armed, you don't want to send a bike just to deal with that. You want to send a fully armed cop car to it, and also like medical, 2 people injured and so forth. There's a car that needs removing. Fire, with technical knowledge, will need to do it. So fire's going to need to go to that one.
Sure.
There's a middle one, which is basically if you have a 911 call, that's just a dialogue. 911 call, you can review it and let's go back to it to get further information. You don't need to. It's not that complicated. You don't have to think too hard about the information. You get the information quite clearly. It doesn't have to think too hard about it. The third one is the situational report. So when you get to a situation, this will show all your units and all the people there. And then on the right side, it will show all the people who are like the bad, the others, not your side, who are involved. And if you highlight them, it will tell you how long before they're resolved, what their status is, do they need transportation, do they need medical transport. You get little icons as well, telling you this as well. And also show you which your people are dealing with them. To be honest, that's more information than you need. I don't really care which officer specifically is dealing with that suspect as long as they're being dealt with. The trouble is, this is where the problem is. That window overlays over your list of incidents. So if you have incidents up and you click on one, this window opens and overlays all of them.
Right.
So you can't, if you've got those incidents on the go, you can't easily, you're covering them up. You can move the window, but as soon as you click on a new instance, it resets back to that position.
Oh, that's annoying.
And you can close it, but as soon as you click on an instant, it opens back up again. That, I actually think most of that time that window isn't needed. You could actually get rid of a lot of that information. Because you don't need to know. Perhaps a little summary is useful. I actually think the instance screen, the little tab before you instance, could actually have more information on it. So what I really want to see on that screen is, have I got someone en route to it? So I can have a little icon that says, this is a word saying, no one assigned to this. So I can easily see, okay, that instance, I need to assign someone to it. What I would like is an actual timer next to it as well. Okay, the people you've got here at the moment, this is going to be resolved in 20 seconds. And a real timer, not a, how fast is it going down thing.
Okay.
And actually get more people saying that number just will automatically just drop down automatically. however many people you need. So I can see, okay, I'm going to people 3 in a second. Or it can perhaps have a little icon to show you that there's a problem here. You haven't sent an ambulance to this situation. I'm going to get police here. I need an ambulance as well. A little icon. By adding like 2 or 3 extra columns, I get a lot more useful information out of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need half that window in the top right. I wouldn't need it.
Okay.
So that's a little design flaw. I think that's more of a design gripe. I think they could have done it better. The other issue is when you have multiple units attend to. So basically, your little icons all go to this instance. The icons overlay.
Oh.
Now, you can't. They sort of like tile it a bit, like when you get cards a deck and you sort of like they tile, so you can sort of see the tops of them. But you have to zoom quite in to make sure you select the right one, and you can't. And when you select it, you can't actually see what it is. It's not like it lives to the front, so you can see. Oh, that's the bike.
Oh.
Yeah. So what you have to then do is look on your. You have to then. So if you want to say, okay, this is being controlled. I've got 3 instances here. It's near under control. I want to send this one of those units to another one. I click on the situation report. Okay, there's a bike there. He can go elsewhere. Okay, which one is it? Now I have to open up my units on the other side, go from my bikes and click on them to find out which one is attending that one and send it. It's a bit of a faff. That could be done better. If they had it so on the situation report, where it lists your people, you could click the icon there.
Yeah.
That would have solved that problem. Those are really my only gripes with it. I can't really fault it there. It's just a few... It just needs a bit of polish in there. It's definitely got, I would say, the earmarks of a game that they've got an idea. They just need to work on it a bit.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've took a lot of that on board, because looking at what they're talking about the next one, they've seemed to have resolved a lot of those issues. So I do recommend it.
Yep.
I do say it's fun. Whether it's $10.99 worth, I think that's, for indie games, I think that's a bit steep. $5, I'd say, yeah, okay. It's probably
I'd pay a $5 for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I paid.
There are a lot more in-depth indie games for a lot less money.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yep.
Than this one. And it hasn't got enough there to make it worthwhile. I tell you what I may think of. This is to me, it's different between Euro Truck and Euro Truck Simulator 2. Euro Truck Simulator is really basic, but it's got the basic nub there.
Yeah.
Simulator 2 really ups the game and completely revitalises how it works.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, I did actually enjoy the game.
Shows a lot of potential in.
Yes, so I've already I've added the next one to my wish list.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, because I've enjoyed enough that I think actually I will probably pick that up when it comes out, because that's.
Does it have a Linux client or?
It probably must do, because I got my copy through the Humble Bundle.
Humble
I know your favourite thing, but if it's running for the Humble Bundle, it should have a Linux version.
Sure.
But yeah, good. I've got nothing else for games, but I've got a bit of TV. It's been announced that I can't remember the name of the guy who did the Man in High Castle, one of the main producers, he's now in talks with Games Workshop to make a Warhammer 40k TV series. It's probably saying this is very early days. Like, he's gone.
That's going to be weird.
It's going to be very weird. He's gone to them and said, "I want to do it." They said, "That sounds cool," and they've already put series they want to convert over. At the moment, it's not got any, but it's literally the first stage basically of development. So, we're
doing it.
Yes, but I don't think they've got any scripts planned or anything planned at all. So it's really early days. So it's going to follow the Eisenhorn series, which is a series of books. So Trouble Warhammer 40k, which will make it hard for TV series, is that the sort of things that most stories tell, these big massive battles, how big a budget have they got? Without making it look like shit CGI, how big a budget they got to do these things? Yeah, we need 1 billion extras for this next scene.
Yes, it is going to be difficult, I think, to do Warhammer 40k well.
As someone else already said, it's either going to be brilliant or utter shit.
Yeah.
There is really no middle ground for it in 40k. It's not a lot in between. They have made the right decision, because they're not... Because the trouble is, with like computer games, they always seem to focus on Space Marines, generally Space Marines.
Pretty much everything I can think of in recent history has been Space Marines.
Yeah, because they're easy. They're a big super duper power troop. You've got an excuse to play to be super powerful. Blah 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 blah. Trouble is, those sort of stories don't lend themselves to TV. So what they've done, when I first heard about it, I didn't know the detail of what they were going to do. I just heard they're making a series. I thought, well, realistically, your only more choices are rogue traders, who are like the people who in the War K4 universe, these are people who are basically allowed to go sort of beyond the territories of the Imperium and sort of like explore and expand.
Yeah.
So they're getting a bit of free reign of what they can do. They've still got to, toe the line, but they are, because they're basically the arse into nowhere, they can get away with a lot of stuff that people wouldn't do. So they can get away with using alien tech.
Right.
Because no one's, unless someone turns up, which they won't, they can get away with a lot of shit. That would work. And also, you've got an opportunity there because you can have all the rogues and so forth, and the general archetypes of TV series. Or you had to follow one of the small organisations in the Imperium, like the Assassins or the Inquisition. And as they are, I don't know who's an Inquisitor. And the Inquisition are the nasty buggers who basically, these are people who go around, they root out chaos, infections, and xenos things, and they are the ones who have the ability to, if they want, to order exterminus and have our whole planet destroyed. Because the big issue, what I think the hard bit they're going to have is the trouble with the Imperium of Man is it's rather fascist. Well, it is fascist. Because they're very xenophobic. They are totally xenophobic. They will not officially deal with aliens. If you find aliens, you'd kill them. Simple as that. No quarter there. They're religious nut jobs. I mean, being a human in the 40k universe is not a nice place to be. We are not the good guys in 40k. If you're a human, your life is, you're born. As soon as you can basically walk, you're working in either factory producing shells to go to the front line, or perhaps on an agri planet somewhere where you're basically, and your life is, or you're joining a gang and getting stuck on combat drugs and so forth. All sorts of nasty things. Or if you're really unlucky, you get put in the Imperial Guard, and you basically get given a t-shirt and a flashlight, told to go kill things, and you get to kill. You're not just killing other human-like creatures. You're killing tyrannids, these monsters that want to just eat you alive for fun. Or if you're really unlucky, you're born a psyker, and either you end up being a portal to chaos demons who take over your mind and possess you and break into the material realm and kill your friends, or you get captured, took to one of the black ships, took to the Imperium, either fed to the Emperor through his golden throne to keep him alive and keep the navigation beacons functioning, or if you're really lucky, you might become a sanctioned psycho and are allowed to go and being very, very watched, go work for like the Imperial Guard, or even getting the Aptus Astris. Or if you're really unlucky, you would turn to serve to be brain-tized, just cyberdized, and just maintain being your servant. So life's not good. I mean, let's say the nicest faction in 40k and these are sort of the good guys, which is the Tau, who basically, the reason they're the good guys is when they come to your planet, they go, "Do you want to join us? If you don't join us, we'll kill you anyway. Do you want to join us?" Whereas most races go, "You're dead. We're just going to kill you." So, and the Tau have concentration camps. They're the good guys, basically. When that's your good standard, that gives you an idea. I wonder how well that sort of viewpoint's going to navigate well to the TV, and I think they're going to struggle quite heavily, because I think they're going to have to. And this is the thing: if they lighten it up a little bit, you'll piss off all the 40k fans, because there's a reason we like it that dark, because nothing else really is that dark.
But that's not gonna slide in modern TV.
No, it won't. I mean, it's worth mentioning, although the Imperium is fascist, they are fascist to alien species, not to themselves. They don't care. There's plenty of examples of literature. They don't care if you're black, white, whatever. You're just a human. If you're black, white, whatever, you or whatever where you're from, you can still carry a las rifle and go kill alien monsters. Good on you. Whether you're straight, gay, bi, doesn't matter. They don't care. If you're Xeno or you worship chaos, then you die.
Yeah.
So it's worth their fascist, but not in that way fascism. But they are.
No, but that some know-nothing prick is going to sit and go, "Oh, there's a thing going on here, and I don't understand, and I don't like it."
Yeah, exactly. So that's what they've got to be. That's what they're going to have to bridge it.
I don't think it's going to flow.
You could get around that, actually, depending on who you cast. If you cast sort of a range of people and they're all exactly the same, you sort of get around that.
Sure, but then you've got to remember, if something bad happens to a character that people like, and that character happens to be random class B, they're fucked. All of a sudden, everyone's table flips, the internet goes mad.
It is
and people who have nothing to do with your hobby start shitting all over your hobby, or ruin your TV show.
And everybody says, you will be killed, be brutally tortured and killed, or sent to fight and get killed. Take your pick. That's 40k for you. Well done.
There you go.
Yeah, so that they've done the right path of picking a series that follows a small. So Eisenhorn. To be fair, the books exist already, written by Dan Abnett, who's one of my. I've not read Eisenhorn series, but I've read some of his other Warhammer K-Forces, and he's a very good author. He's also written stuff. He's done lots of things. He's also written stuff for 2001 AD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's done stuff. It's worth mentioning Eisenhorn, though. He's written the books. He didn't create the character. The character actually comes from an old Warhammer Games Workshop game called Inquisition, and in there, Eisenhorn was a character in that game, and then he wrote the books based on that. So he didn't actually create the character, but he's done all the books, and so he's effectively fleshed the character out. So they've done. And he's basically been described, from what people described him as, he's basically James Bond in space.
Okay.
So it's more his is more about investigating, so forth. That could work. You've got to steer clear from the big, massive battles as much as you can, because you ain't got to have the budget for that.
No.
So stick to it's in the universe, and that could work. That's where they'll get work. And
but is that going to be entertaining enough for average Joe pleb?
I think so. I think you could do that. Obviously, the storylines have got to be engaging. My other thing is, you've got to, most TV series, there is a character who is the audience. So you either have, in the old days, they get around this by, if you're like a futuristic society, you pick up some native from a planet who would act as the audience and ask, "Oh, what's this? I don't know what this is," and they then explain it to you. They explain to the audience because the audience want to ask, "What's that strange device there?" or what was that incident you're talking about? So you have to have that third-party character. 40k, everybody knows everything. There's no third-party. Well, that's not true, because most people don't know about the Xenos or the Cows. They vaguely know about them, but they don't necessarily believe they exist. So it's all, they try and keep that knowledge suppressed, because more people know about Chaos, the worse.
Well, yeah.
So they try. So that you could say, but you've got. There's a lot of background you need to explain. You need to explain what these places are, and without a representative of the audience to be there to explain it. I mean, you don't have to do that. I mean, lots of series get. I mean, other sci-fi get away with it. They're usually based sort of roughly in our culture.
Sure.
I mean, Expanse has a first episode. Of Expanse has a massive like dialogue. You used to get the old sci-fi films, which just explains the whole background for you, and that gives you that's enough to get you going. So they might do something like that to basically give you an explanation of the series. So if you don't, trouble is, if you want people who've never seen Roy K to watch it, you have to somehow explain to it, okay, this is how the Imperium works, how their ships work. Their ships work by basically navigating to a lighthouse caused by the Emperor's psychic ability, the Astronomicon, who basically.
I don't think this is going to sit well with average Joe.
It's going to. I think it's going to also.
It's going to struggle.
I think it's going to struggle. Yeah, I think it's either going to be really good or really shit, and it might end up down the road of a cult thing. There'll be a group who really love it, but I say average people won't, because I think it's sci-fi. Hard side. I mean, it's more Warhammer just sitting this sort of space opera side of things. It's more Star Trek sci-fi than like Expanse, which is more hard sci-fi. That wasn't so. That's not the point of average Joe, because it's like, why can't they just like go to warp and do this? Well, they can't, because that doesn't make sense. Warhammer. I mean, Warhammer basically. I mean, explaining to the average Joe, yeah, these guys travel through fast light, but actually literally travel through what's basically hell. They travel through hell to get where they're going, and yeah, while they're in hell, they have to have people psychically protecting. They have this thing called the Gellerfield to protect their ships, so you don't get invaded by the demons of what is effectively hell. So it's something that, I mean, I think it's something that possibly, if done right, could do it, but it's gonna be it's gonna be a hell of a job. Yes, it's gonna be a hell of a job.
That's not a job I'd want to take on.
No, I am cautiously optimistic. Is probably what I'd say. I'm not going to get my hopes up. There's been lots of talk in the past where Games Workshop have started the process of putting stuff to the big screen or so forth, and then back it. One thing about Games Workshop, they are very protective of their IP. They will not flex. So there was one point they wanted to do a TV series about Space Marines, but the people wanted to put female Space Marines in it. And in Warhammer, there are no female Space Marines. They don't exist, because they are journeying men. how you want to say it, whatever, but it's just the law. They don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
There are female factions, so they're Sisters of Battle, who are quite cool. They wear power armor, like the Space Marines, and they carry they all carry flamethrowers, and they're basically this default. Think nuns, but really violent.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have flamethrowers. I mean, one of their battle tanks is a giant organ that they play to send fires ordnance at people. They're quite a cool faction, to be fair. Sister Battle, they're quite a cool faction, and everything's cleansing flame.
But that is not what people are going to see. They'll go, oh, there are no women. There are no female Space Marines. They're the people you're going to have to deal with. Those are the people that you're going to have to appease, and they're probably the people that are going to fuck up the show the most.
I mean, well, the best in that situation is say, no, aren't in the law. Tough. That's just how it is. Sorry.
But then that's where you're going to get a load of people QQing, jumping up and down, and no one wants that. No. They're not going to side with the fans over average Joe.
Well, Games Workshop...
Games Workshop will probably say then we're not doing it.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to this last one. Supposedly, they pulled the plug. So no, you're not altering our IP. Boom.
Yeah, pull the plug.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you get they don't need them. They've got lots of authors work for games, which they tend to give them a free reign. The advantage because it's such a big universe. But basically, what it is, don't go. We've given you the source material of the background. Don't go away from that. You know how things work.
You've got the foundations. Don't fuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. But you can build a world around that. You don't have to. And that's also managed it. Mm-hmm. To me, the worst thing they could do is end up with a token. Rogue Traders get away with it. If you did Rogue Trades, you really get away with a lot because they're basically on the fringes of society. No one really cares.
Yeah.
They basically, or officially, they don't. Officially, they do care. If an Inquisitor comes on your ship and he finds you've got a Xeno working for you, but you've picked up, you're gone. You're dead. However, when you're out there day to day, no one cares because you're on the fringes of society. Half the people you probably have never heard of the Emperor in their old human colonies. Yeah, you can get away with a lot. So Rogue Traders would work quite well as a series because you could have this member of the crew is actually an elder. You could do that. Who they found, they rescued, and he's working for whatever. And then you could actually some tension there. Oh God, there's an Inquisitor coming. You've got to hide. Yeah. And he's a psychic. He's a psyker. He might take your presence. You need to hide yourself and what have you. There is options there. Yeah. So they've gone the right path, picking a small group to do it. They've done the right thing. If they said they were going to do a series about an Imperial Guardsman, I'd say you're fucked. You're never going to do that. You can't do that sort of thing. So, but yeah, that's one. So I can't. Even if it does get green, I can't see us gracing our screens for at least another couple of years. Sure. They'll never go. It's got so early on.
Assuming that we're still a podcast in a couple of years.
Of course, we'll still be a podcast.
We'll be a podcast when we're old men. Old men.
So say older. You're fine. Yeah. So there we go. So that was my rant on the pill. Have you got anything else before we?
Nope. That's it.
Okay then. So, quite a long one today. Nearly 2 hours.
It's all right.
It's fine. So thank you much for watching on the SuffolkRam.
Skazz.
If you enjoyed this, please follow us on. I may say it's for the people listening on the home, but why not? If you enjoyed, please listen to follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/randnerds. We've got a website, randnerds.com, which you can visit as well if you feel like doing so. We've got Twitter, randnerds. We've got a Facebook page, randnerds. Follow us on there. Someone might one day. We have got a Patreon. Someone might give us some money one day. I think Patreon just doesn't like me at all. It's just like you never.
No, it really doesn't like you.
No, it hates me. They're not answering my emails anymore.
I'm actually saying they're not answering my emails anymore. They never have.
I'm making a stage now. I might just go. Fuck! I'm just gonna set up a second Patreon page just so I can sort this bugger out.
Yeah. That's right, mate. I've been emailing them now for months, and they still haven't bothered to reply to me either. Yeah. So hey ho.
Yeah. So thank you much for watching. If you want, you can. I should say this more often. If you want, you can join us for our next stream on the 3rd of August at 9:30 on the YouTube channel.
Ta-da!
So, I've realised the other day, I thought, anyone listens to the podcast actually has no clue when we stream, we never actually say.
Twitch, YouTube, and whatever else we can be bothered.
Yeah, 9:30 GMT on the 3rd of August will be our next episode 119. Look forward to joining you there. From me, TheSuffolkRam.
And again, Skazz.
We'll see you then.
Woohoo! And hopefully the audio's not broken this time.
Pop, pop.
Duff, fucking sharp.
Pop, 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 pop. Pop 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 pop.